We not from Hoover. You know what I'm saying? We from Edgemont. We from Moreno Valley, California. You know what I'm saying?
Because if they would have started us, we would have been Edgemont, Hoover, criminals. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't Bloods, we wasn't Crips. So why not just be criminals? It wasn't because what they was doing because they was criminals. No, we way out here in Moreno Valley.
Our crimin and our crippin' ain't like y'all, fool. Like, stay out of Dorner business, stay out of Edgemont business, stay out of YPC business. Dead in y'all, man. We ain't in y'all business. Y'all not politicking how we politic, man. So don't try to intervene and road on us.
Hey, what's going on? It's your brother GRLA Hebrew, man. And yeah, the Edgemonts, man, yeah, they tapped in on me, man. They hit me up about the last video I made. If you ain't seen it, you know, I just simply was doing a reaction to one of their hood vlogs that they did with Valley Club, Big Up Valley Club. You know, it was spearheaded by, you know, the G homie from over there, S1. Big up to S1. S1 hit me. Young Suge hit me about the Edgemonts, man. And they like, look, you know, with some things you said and some information, man, we just want to clarify. So, you know, they hollered at me. I talked to them. You know, everything was all good. You know, I know a couple of them up over there. You know, they might not have liked some of the things I said. And, hey, my bad. You know, wasn't nothing intended as disrespect. If anything, you know, it was about bridging any gap if one existed. And really just, you know, spreading some good old-fashioned criminal gang love. That's it. So, you know, they did a recent hood vlog with DC Baby Draco, who's becoming infamous for doing these hood vlogs. And, you know, it was dope. And they answered some of the questions. Now, I just was out in Cali this last weekend. I was in Dago for TwitchCon, but I messed around, couldn't get my rental. So I was trying to get out there to Moval and actually link with the Edgemonts, man, and hear it straight from their mouth. But they did a great job doing that with DC Baby Draco. So we're going to be reacting to that today. Fire hood vlog. If you ain't checked it out in its totality, definitely urge everybody to do so. Also, I got some interviews lined up, if it be the will of the Lord, coming soon with both S1 and Young Suge coming about that Edgemont criminal gang. Right, so without any further ado, let's get off into it.
Welcome to the murders.
We in Edgemont right now.
Edgemont. You know what I'm saying? The Dorner Blocc, the YPCs, you know how it is. You know
Dead in yard cartel, you know what I'm talking about? Dead ain't got no friends around this mouth. You know what's going on.
The real
mob around this stuff.
EBK Black Flag around this mother, man. Y'all see it?
Yeah, man, it's the dangerous, man.
Oh, so y'all black flags over here?
Yeah, we black rap.
Black flags, you know what
It depends on what side you from, really. Like,
really
keep it all the way agent. So, like, just to break it down real quick, you feel me? Like, the set was originally 3 different sections. Like, we came together as a collective. You had the Edgemonts, the Dorner Bloccs, and the YPCs.
I'm glad he's breaking this part down because this is something that I personally always kind of had a question about. I understood that they was 3 and functioning as one. But, you know, just kind of giving that history and explanation, because you got Edgemont Criminal, you got Dorner Blocc Gangster Crip, and you got YPC, Young Paper Chasers, right? And I understand that some of the Dorner Blocks, some is pushing Dorner Blocc Gangster Crip, and some is just pushing Dorner Blocc Criminal Gang. So, you know, really giving us a understanding and a background on the functionality of that, you know, unified community, like they was saying, the dead end yard. You know, it's good that they shedding light on that, you know, because we always just hear Edgemont, but understanding the different sides in the inner workings of it, you know, is important just for, you know, the clarity of everybody else out there. Especially now with this conversation of, you know, their relation to us, the relation to the Hoovers, and you know, whether or not, you know, just like we got Hoover Gangster Crip, we got Hoover Criminal, we got Hoover Crip, you know, they got Edgemont Criminal, Dorner Blocc Gangster Crip, Dorner Blocc Criminal, YPC, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so just bringing clarity and helping everybody out there kind of understand their functionality, I think, is important for just telling their overall story.
The YPC's rag was originally the money rag.
Money
You know
rag.
what I'm talking about? The Edgemont was black rag, you feel me? The Dorner Bloccs is the blue flags, you feel me? We come together as a collective, you know what I'm talking about? So the flag, just depending on what side you're from, is depending on what flag you got on you did.
Now, y'all remember, man, everywhere I went across this country, there was a time, especially in them 90s and early 2000s, where you could go in that damn store and get that damn bandana with Benjamin Franklin all over it. For sure, that money rag. We remember that money rag. You feel me? Everybody out there, let me know in the comments if y'all remember when that money rag was at every liquor store in the country, right? You could usually find a money rag, a camo rag, black, white, and then depending on where you was at, some of them motherfuckers, they knew better than to put the red in the wrong place or the blue in the wrong place, but you could definitely find them too, depending on where you was at. But that money rag and that camo rag, that used to be in every liquor store across America.
Like, you gonna see plenty of flags and like plenty of A hats, you feel me, D hats, you know what I'm talking about?
Hey, y'all see I'm rocking that A hat for you, man, for that A line, man. Shout out to my Edgemonts, man. I'm coming through correct and I'm showing my respect, man. I wore the A hat just for this video, man. Shout out.
You can't forget about my original Dorner Blocc Gangster Crips, or Dorner Blocc Crips itself. You know what I'm saying?
Right there.
That's still existing to this day too with the Dorner Blocc Criminals. So, you know, it's like, you know, some beautiful thing, man, that we got going on, man. It's unity. You know what I'm saying? Family love, man, family orientated.
You know what I'm talking about? We pay homage to the structure, you know what I'm talking about, with the block cripping, you know what I'm talking about? We got the creme gang, you feel me, the creme de la creme, you feel me? This is the mob, though. This is mob. We say the mob because it's Monarch Block, you feel me? I mean, it's the setup gets everything. We EBK gang, you feel me? It's the gang gets everything that was going on, you feel me? Like, the set be clicking up to go against the section and all that type of shit. But see, our set is the only set in Riverside County. Like, we set the tone, we set the structure with all this shit. You know what I'm talking about? We everything from the county to juvenile halls to everything. We the definition with the game man shit. Everybody else kind of pick back on what we do. You feel me? Like, just to give you history, like, we the first real gang out here. Like, as far as Moreno Valley, our set is like a really community. Like, that Edgemont is not just a gang. You feel me? It's a culture. It's a community. You feel me? We got businesses. You know, we got non-profits, we got everything over here, you feel me? We really like self-inhabited, so that's what's going on with the set.
Record labels, nigga, artists,
everything,
nigga, cookers, we got
all that, athletes, we got athletes, you see all the shit, everything you looking for. Yeah, shout out to the, just like whatever you looking for, we over here, baby, you know what I'm talking about? We got every shape, color, and creed, you know what I'm talking about? Everything you need, come and slide through though, you feel me? Yes, sir. Back to that, as the generations pass down, we keep the history going with the block crib, with the rags in different sizes. We got 226, 228, 229, Allies Pride. The family, you feel me? Perham, you know what I'm talking about? We got the Wild, we got Yip Tribe, we got Cactus Park, Bayside Park, Adrian Park, you know what I'm talking about? Just depending on what side you're from, but it's all the set. We all one family, we one gang, you feel me? It's unity like.
All right, so to show y'all the area that they talking about, you know, so y'all can just get a bird's eye view of, you know, they turf and they section area in the Moreno Valley area. This is that gang map of LA, but you know, it's got the IE. It's got a lot included. Got the IE part of Orange County and all that up in there. But yeah, so this is Moval, you know. And this is, as y'all can see, Edgemont. It's right there on the map. Edgemont, California. It's the real recognized name of the section. And they got it orange off of, you know, the assumed association with us. Edgemont Criminal Gang. Then you got YPC, the Young Paper Chasers. Right, boom, boom. And then here is the Dorner Blocc Gangster Crips turf. Now, again, I don't know. I ain't really been in Moreno Valley. I can't speak to the authenticity and the exactitude of this map, but, you know, I'm sure it's you know, relatively accurate. And they all three are next to each other and they all function, you know, as one unit, one umbrella, as the Edgemont Criminal Gang. You know, it looked like also, yeah, I heard they got the essays over the Edgemont locos and all that up over there. So boom, boom. You got Edgemont, right? You got YPC, and then you got Dorner Blocc, and they all off of this Alessandro Boulevard, you know, which is a main stretch there on the west side of Moreno Valley.
We play homage to our G. This is one of my original big homies.
For sure.
So I've been from the set down to 25 years. This is one of my original G homies right here, you feel me? Still around, still present, you feel me? So we got generations of this shit that we try to keep the history and the culture going. Sure. You feel me? Just controlling the narratives of what's spoken on the set. It's a lot of misconceptions about what's going on with the set out there, you feel me? So we just gonna clear all that type of shit up too and let know, like, it be bigger than that. We go to school together, we come, we used to pajama pants, all this shit, you feel me? Same sports teams. It be bigger than just the street shit, and that be the thing that these police and this Instagram and shit be trying to promote, like that's just what we own. Like, no, we a family. These are the people I call, you feel me, when I need something, my kids, you feel me, and all that, everything. Like, these are the people that they there. Like, DNA couldn't make us no closer, you know what I'm talking about? This is really my family right here. Like, this is what I go to for my counseling. I need some advice. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? My pops wasn't there, so these stone right here, I come holler at, like, man, what's up, bro? What you think about this situation? He give me his advice and shit like that. So be appreciative for that generational shit. A lot of these gangs out here don't have that. They don't have that generation of homies that they can pull from and that, you feel me, tap into. So we lucky to have that over here, you know what I'm talking about?
And that's definitely something I noticed from watching the content dealing with the Edgemonts is the fact that they got a real turf. They got a real community over there. And that's important for the longevity and for the lifeblood of any quote-unquote gang is really it being community and communal first. Because if it's just some badass kids who are in that particular neighborhood or area or section of jurisdiction and, you know, they just kicking up dust, writing on the wall, stealing out the store, starting stuff with people on the other side of town, 9 times out of 10, that particular entity, that gang is not really gonna have legs and longevity in this shit. You see what I'm saying? It's really just a clique at that point, a tagging crew or some shit like that. But when you really got generations and you got home ownership and you got older people that you can lean on, and like he said, he mentioned playing on sports teams together, really coming up and growing and being bred together, and that being a heart of the community, and then the gang just being an arm of that community, actually is going to speak to the longevity and lead to longevity of that gang and of the individuals that are involved. You know, so stuff like that is very key, especially when he said, when they're kind of comparing that to other gangs in the IE and in Riverside and stuff like that. A lot of stuff are transient, you know, a lot of people moving around and stuff like that, like I talked about on the last video. That happens a lot in the IE, and not just in the IE, all over the place for real. You know, especially places that aren't big major cities like the LAs and things like that. But that type of stuff is key to keeping shit deeply rooted, and it's really key really to black communities and things of that nature, right? How deeply rooted that community is on a black level. The families and all that's very important to understand, because it's a whole lot deeper than just the street shit. It really is. And that comes with redlining and gentrification and preventing and standing against that. All of that plays a part in the fact.
Big ass nut, man, you feel me? Dorner Blocc Gangster Crips, Edgemont, yeah, Dead End Yard, Moreno Block. We do this shit regularly, you feel me? This shit like, shit easy work, bro. Now we just on some grown man shit.
We ain't gotta say too much about the shit, so you feel me? We just been, we here. We still
We ain't
here.
never
We
left.
here. We gonna
Sure.
be
The
here.
same in the sandbox. We ain't never left.
Big dead end, no friends, man. None of that on the set. I don't get no misconceptions about what's going on over here and none of that.
And we don't attribute our gangster or criminal to none other hood, but we respect the origins of where the shit came from. You feel me? The culture in general, but you feel me? We way different. We ain't no IE. We from the murders. You feel me? Murder Valley. You feel me? We all niggas from the town area, but we from the murders.
So I want to spin this back real quick, because he said something interesting, and I think something that we need to key in on it. And DC Baby Draco is actually going to ask some questions to probe a little further. But before he even probe further, let's just break down what bro said right here.
We don't attribute our gangster or criminal to none other hood, but we respect the origins of where the shit came from. You feel me? The culture in general, but.
So he said, we don't accredit our gangster or our criminal to now another hood gang set, right? Because I think that is the topic at hand, of course, the relation to the origins of the Edgemont criminal gang, and you know its relation to the Hoovers, right? Now, of course, they spoke about the black rag, the blue rag. He on the blue rag. He made it clear from the onset he's representing Dorner Blocc Gangster Crip. I just find it interesting. He got the blue rag on his face and he got that orange up on his hoodie, and it happened to have the L whacked on it on the hoodie. I found it interesting, but he said, hey, we respect the origins of where it comes from. So this is letting you know, hey, they respect the origins of the concept of being a criminal, as opposed to being a Crip or a Blood, as well as being a Gangster Crip. He's acknowledging the origins of that moving and grooving origins of crimin and gangster cripping, but he's making it clear that they are their own thing, and they have their own unique brand of crimin and gangster cripping. And, you know, they don't get it from nobody else, but they do respect the origins, right? Okay, cool. I can respect that. Let's keep going though.
You feel me? We way different. We ain't no IE. We from the murders. You feel me? Murder Valley. You feel me? We all niggas from the town area, but we from the murders. You feel me?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so most people, you know, they try to say something about like the Hoovers started y'all in LA and shit like that. What y'all got to say about that, like that little situation? For the viewers out there.
Now, this was a little subtle thing right here. And I want to explain something, how absolutely fire that little moment was, man. Let's replay it real quick so we can watch that. Just watch that.
They try to say something about like the Hoovers started y'all in LA and shit like that. What y'all got to say about that, like that little situation?
You see the young homies, they all looked and diverted to the big homie. They all diverted to S1 stoned the first. The father of S5 stoned the fifth. They all diverted to him. That was the absolute correct thing to do. Absolute respect and homage that they paying to their big homie, because that's something. Now, I'm sure they know when they can answer the question. Don't get it twisted. But he's, of course, closer to the source and when it all came in, so he can speak more accurately to it, and it's more so his place to speak to it, because what's in question is the origins of the Edgemont criminal gang. You see what I'm saying? So I just thought that was fire, how they just diverted, you know what I mean, gave that respect to
For the viewers out there.
For the viewers, man, that's bullshit. Because if they would have started us, we would have been Edgemont, Hoover, Criminals. You know what I'm saying? But on some real shit though, they good people, right? They didn't start us. You know what I'm saying? All type of hoods was in our hood at that time when we was kids growing up.
Now, this is the thing. From what I've heard, again, I can't speak to in the 90s. I was a kid. I didn't even move to California till 2002. So I can't speak on any of that, right? And I ain't really been in Moreno Valley, but I just know what I've heard. And what I've heard is a bunch of different gangs being in the area of Edgemont, starting back there in the 90s. Hoovers included, especially 9 Deuces, but also many other, especially Crip gangs, but even some Bloods, Pyrus too. But mostly a variety of Crip gangs is what I've always heard existed. And when I go look on my comment boards, right, on the videos and the content that I've done on Edgemont, and the comment boards of other videos about Edgemont, that's what I see people say. I remember such and such from Compton is there. Foo was here from there. This and that. You see what I'm saying? So it was a variety of different gangs that were present in the Edgemont area in the early stages of the development of the Edgemont criminal gang, and even before.
Homie started this shit, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like Shugs, the Scenes, you know what I'm saying? The big Strizzes, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? The Big Souls, and you know what I'm saying? Those are that really had the whole of what was going on before my time. I just came in, you know what I'm saying, at the time that they got their shit going on. But they did not start us, and I knew about that because I was already living over there. You know what I'm saying?
Quick, right?
Tiny Zoe was from YPC, you know what I'm saying, basically, but he was from Hoover.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To keep it 100, at the same time, he never, like, saying like he was from YPC, like, oh, he gonna bang it like that, out of all due respect, but he was pushing a hard line, and we loved him.
So just to give y'all the background on that, Tiny Zoe is from 9 Deuce Hoover, right? So Tiny Zoe, they said was from YPC, which is Young Paper Chasers. And sometimes what happens is, especially during the formative periods of gangs and the IE, what'll happen is you might have a clique, and that clique may consist of various different gangs. It may have a couple different LA gangs, let's say Tiny Zoe from 9 Deuce Hoover, maybe a nigga from Nutty Block Compton, and maybe 4 or 5 other niggas that they're really just from the IE. They ain't banging no LA gangs, but they all claiming YPC. Eventually, as YPC grows and evolves, kicks up dust, starts going to parties, getting into altercations, they actually start becoming their own gang. It goes from a clique to a gang. So then you have gang members who are already from established gangs in LA who are associated with this clique that is growing and graduating into gangdom. And what will happen is certain people will just turn that, or certain people will say, well, I ain't turning that, but shit, I'm still nigga pushing YPC, but it's still 9 Deuce over. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of what they speaking on, if I'm not mistaken, with the situation with Tiny Zoe.
We got a day for him. We celebrate his day, you feel me? TZ day type shit, feel me? On some real shit, so no different.
Now that's a big thing too, because like Trigger Bird was saying, who's from 9 Deuce as well, and you know, he and I have had a lot of in-depth conversations just with this whole thing and the relationship to the Edgemonts. And you know, we've been talking to Trouble, which is Treyway's brother from Edgemont. You know, he's like, damn, he from 9 Deuce, and they don't celebrate Tiny Zoe Day and 9 Deuce Hoover, and Tiny Zoe was a 9 Deuce Hoover. So he's like, you know, hey, that history dealing with Tiny Zoe and you know, celebrating and commemorating him, you know, because I believe he was killed by the police out there. You know, that's a big deal, and we want to know more about that, and we want to embrace that. And it's crazy because, hey, Edgemont celebrating him more than the set is, and he was from the set. So, you know, that type of stuff is important, and it's beautiful that they, you know, acknowledge and celebrated the brother who was fallen and his life was stolen, I believe, again, by the police.
Disrespect to the Hoovers, but they didn't start us, bro. Like on some real shit, they didn't do that. The homies did. We celebrate his day, you feel me? TZ Day type shit, you feel me?
Real.
On some real shit. So no disrespect to the Hoovers, but they didn't start us, bro. Like on some real shit, they didn't do that.
We
The
was
homies
already a
did
set
that
at
shit.
that
They was
time
already
before that even
established.
happened. Like we was 3 different
You know what I'm
sets. The
saying?
Wise
sure.
was a different set. Edgemont was already a set. You feel me?
Dorner
Now,
Blocc was
because
a
Crane got
different
killed
set.
at the
We
set
all got
park.
different entities. We came as a unit. We operate as one. We incorporate our structure to manage, you feel me, the day-to-day going on, or how we want our structure, our criteria on what's the standard, you feel me, up over here. But you feel me, like Dorners ain't under nobody umbrella, but it's Edgemont, California.
Period.
At the end of
And I feel that. And it's like, and you know, forgive me, but I can't do anything but parallel it to our structure. And what do I mean? One is Hoover is one thing. You got 8 different sets, but it's one thing. Fado's Hoover, Gangster Crip, and then you got, 5'9" to 11 Deuce, Hoover Criminal Gang for the most part. Some also still push Hoover Crip Gang. But it's one structure. Hoover is one structure with the 8 different jurisdictions, and then even within the jurisdictions, you got the 50s, you got the Trey 4, you got the Deuce 4, you got the, the Gunnets, nigga the 711s, nigga the Deuce 4, 711. You see what I'm saying? You have all that. In the same way, they got something like that where you got, it's all one thing, but you got Edgemont Criminal, nigga Dorner Blocc Gangster Crips, YPC, but it's all under one umbrella, all functioning as one structure, right? So I see the similarities. I'm just pointing out the similarities. I ain't saying y'all took the script or nothing like that. We're gonna put respect on the Edgemonts, but I'm just saying I can see the similarities. And as far as the IE, the closest equivalent to, outside of just being criminal, of course, obviously, but just the closest equivalent we see in the functionality is the program that they running out there in Edgemont.
the day. So that said that from Hoover, I don't know your name, and I don't mean to get at you like that, but like that's kind of like ignorant, you feel me, for you to say some shit like this is just under the umbrella and this is just baby Hoovers. And no, you could probably say like y'all didn't influence homies in a sense, you feel me.
Now that might have been my favorite statement in this whole thing. Y'all might have, or y'all can say that y'all might have influenced homies in a sense. And I think that's really the crux of what's going on here. Whereas you got homies looking like, oh, we started them. And it's more so the ideology, because that's how I look at it. Because if we go back to the foundation of the Hoover criminal identity, the transition out of Hoover Crip and into Hoover Criminal and Hoover Criminal Gang, the spark and inspiration, as it was told by the OGs, came from the Boogie Down Productions album called Criminal Minded, and it was birthed in the Crip module during the late 80s, 4800, in the LA County Jail. So it was a mentality, right? Initially, criminal minded, a mindset that later grew into a separate identity from Crip, its own identity, Hoover Criminal, right? So now when it comes to the influence, because they're going to talk about it later, S1 is going to talk about it was Crips and Bloods. So they was going to say we not Crips or Bloods, we criminals. So this ideology of everybody killer and we on our own is the whole criminal ideology. And frankly, I think every damn body has adopted it at this point, but only certain people have ventured to or had the boldness to declare it. Because I don't give a fuck if you a Crip and you spend your time killing other Crips, you a criminal. Like it or not. If you a Blood or Paru and you spend your time killing other Bloods or Parus, you crimin' at that point. So really, everybody's really just crimin'. But the problem is, because we was the first ones to do it, like the Edgemonts, if you declare you crimin', now automatically people are going to associate you with something up underneath the Hoover umbrella. And we see how this confusion is happening and how the homies from Edgemont is getting a little frustrated by that. So that's why everybody else ain't put the crim on they shit. But all they doing is, I don't give a fuck if they say they Bloods, they Crip, whatever. Nigga, they crimin' full-fledged. Because a lot of gangs' primary enemy is people who share the same goddamn bandana as them. A blue rag, a red rag, a burgundy rag, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Think about West LA. You got West LA trades killing each other. You feel me? Neighborhoods at different point in time having conflict with each other. Say, nigga, you criminal at that point, right? So, you know, but I think he's correct in saying, hey, it was an influence of this idea, this ideology, this concept of being a criminal and it being a anybody killer, everybody killer type of situation, and a refusal to conform to any of the pre-existing Crip and Blood politics and really carving out your own politics, right? So I think that's a fair thing to say for all parties, an influence.
As far as the origins go, but our crimin and our crippin ain't like y'all, fool. Like we respect the origins. That's all we can say. You feel me? We tilt our hat to generals from the past to the present, but we respect our generals. We follow our generals. We the generals. They're like, I ain't nobody, but at the same time, like we step how we step, man. We push a line. We push the set, strictly set. You could say this go push Riverside County, push IE, push this, that, and the third. That was the old structure, you feel me? At the end of the day, as long as we pushing town business, can't nobody interfere. Stay out of Dorner business, stay out of Edgemont business, stay out of YPC business. Dead in yard, man. We ain't in y'all business. Y'all not politicking how we politic, man. So don't try to intervene and road on, real shit.
And I forgot about C-Rock and Lil Shit. I mean, C-Rock and Gulo, Lil Debo, you feel me? But also on another note, like he was saying, it's like, we inherited the criminal because it was all types of Crips and Bloods and different little shit that was going on. We was our own identity. The homies did that. That's another reason why they stamped in, because it make sense. We wasn't Bloods, we wasn't Crips. So why not just be criminals? It wasn't because what they was doing because they was criminals. No, we way out here in Moreno Valley, little kids growing up doing what we doing in the hood. But the homies did that first.
Straight up.
And I love that and I respect what the homies did. You feel me? I just followed in. And I'm here with my homies to keep on contributing to what's really going on. And it's family unity, you feel me?
That's where the D identity come in, because we started out as Crips and criminals at the same time, you feel me? So it's like, it was going to happen that we align with each other, you feel me? For sure. We all grew up with each other. It's town business. Yeah. Nothing else, you feel me? We got respect for everybody until they disrespect, my nigga, at the end of the day. So if you ain't from dead end yard, it don't really it don't even move us over here. We ain't in y'all politics, man. As long as y'all not crossing the tracks, you feel me, stepping on the wrong side, disrespecting, we don't care, because wherever we go, we know where we at. You feel me?
All right, so how do y'all program in county jail? Like, what do y'all go in as? Like, y'all fall under, like, the Hoovers, or, like?
Don't paper chasing. We going as a set. Yeah. It's strictly set. We stay on the set. Like, we don't got no systems. We don't got no friends. We don't got no, it's everybody against the set. It's a set against everybody, though.
You gotta have context with your question in DC, Baby Draco, because he said when y'all go to the county jail, if you go in a Riverside County jail, well, that's not the Hoovers is in LA County, right? So Riverside County jail gonna have a whole different politic and get down and landscape versus the LA County jail, even though of course you're gonna have LA niggas over there, don't get it twisted, or if they go to the San Bernardino County jail or whatever, but it's IE shit going on, it's IE business going on. So of course they're not gonna fall up under the Hoovers in Riverside County or in San Bernardino County, because of course the Hoovers are centered where? In LA County. So it's a different question, but they're gonna speak on LA County in a minute, and they're gonna give some interesting things about, you know, things that have happened in functionality when they in LA County.
And the only thing that you should do if you wanted to do something would be Riverside car or running with the IEs. And with that being said, because that's our soil. But they're doing now these days, the IEs is just the IEs, the Riverside County is just Riverside County, and then now I think the homies is like doing putting it together where they just pushing the hood.
Now this is a thing, and I ain't gonna get off into their business, but it seems like, because again, on the last video, I played a clip where dude from a Tax Boy, what's his name? Cash Boy Tax from Sex Cash said he'd been on a yard, and there'd been 4 or 5 Edgemonts on the yard, and all of them were in different cards. One in the IE car, one in the Riverside County Crip car, and one in the Hoover car. So it seems like, you know, they doing something with they politics where they trying to standardize how they run in the county and in the penitentiary, you know, which is their business and they entitled to it. But I definitely have heard of them and, you know, running with us in the penitentiary and things like that also.
You know what I'm saying? At this one hole. So it's like, those are only things that you should be doing. Anything else outside of that, you know what I'm saying, you got to answer to with the with the homies, with the collective. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that shit go like that.
That's what it's about.
What's the
So,
deal?
bro,
Young
so,
Shug,
DC,
yeah,
baby
free baby
Draco,
Shug, free Trump though.
Yeah, so shout out to Young Shug. That's one of the brothers tapped in with me, good brothers about the Edgemont. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Trub, who we shouted out. You know, that's a nigga I've been talking to. You know, again, that's Treyway brother. And then of course, you know, he shouted out Baby Shug. And you know, what the homies tell me, Baby Shug, he programming, he run with the set as far as, you know, in the penitentiary. Right? So, you know, shout out and salute and free all the Edgemonts. You already know.
Edgemont was like $1 million spot. They have this cub car popping like the pink Cadillac. Used to always announce on the radio on Saturday and Sunday. So everybody from LA used to always come out here and shit. When they was coming out for that club shit, they started finding out about the set. You like, it's $1 million trap spot. I'm up New Jack City, you feel me? I'm a jumping. So you got some Compton, Watts, all type of shit. Like me growing up in the set, our older homies, like we had those structures to where we don't know, like we ain't always been is that we have to reestablish our set and take control of all our shit. So that's why we so big on we our own entity. You feel me? Like we the mile, like we is my Dorner Blocc, white young paper chasers, like.
Yeah, so and that gives more context and should help everybody to understand why they push the way they push. That make perfect sense. You know what bro just said. Essentially, you have these outside forces that are coming into the community that y'all is from. And they over there just, you know, doing their thing, getting their money, etc. And y'all got to really regulate that and let niggas know, like, nah, we're not finna let outside niggas come in and dictate, nigga, we really live here, we really grow here, we really went to these elementary schools and our kids playing at these parks and etc. etc. These niggas is coming in here from LA just getting their money. They can't be dictating it. So, you know what I'm saying? Pushing that hard line, nigga, I get it. It make perfect sense.
Just like me being a young homie, like going to the pen, like I first went to the pen in 2007. That was like one issue I had was that like the Bennett said so. Like I'm in the Bennett, I went to Edgemont Elementary School, Adrian Avenue. My little brother born on Adrian Avenue, like you feel me? So like you can't tell me about my set. You understand it? That's behind that, like on the dead homie. So keep the set out y'all mouth. Cram on the set. I know we popping, we rocking and all that, but like keep the
homie
set
Shug and the
out
homie Big Striz used to always over with the hood in their mouth, straight up on straight business, squabble you up over Edgemont, talking about Edgemont was something else, another identity that it wasn't. So, and still doing the same thing under that guideline that they put the foundation stomp down, and I came right along with them, and I'm with them whatever they want to do at all times. And so we still doing that now, so people can't knock us for what we do. Don't knock our shine because it ain't like that. Pascal, rest in peace, Pascal, she had the races over there. Pascal had us not scared of the police. You feel me? So it's how to stand up for ourselves in the community. So it was a community, man. It go way back to that for like that. You feel me? How to run the races over there, the kids to get money. You know what I'm saying?
Like our streets should be called Houston Republic, you feel me? Like we had an activist that was named Adrian Mitchell, so they gave that to her. You feel me? They tagged our avenue for our park behind her.
And that's fire. You know, again, when it comes to that community thing, the fact that they get that Adrian from an activist that really was from that community, you know what I mean? Like that's fire, you know, and that's the type of history and the type of stuff that the young men who are coming up in that community need to understand, to take some communal pride that it's more than just some gang shit or some self-destructive shit. No, this is a real community, man. So that's fire.
They took our they took our original street sign.
They took Houston Republic. But now we got that A-line now, you know what I'm talking about?
The Edgemont for sure pushing their line. Yeah, we might be in different cores, but we still pushing the line. We there. We there.
So wait a minute. He just said something. We might be in different cars. So he's acknowledging, hey, sometimes some homies gonna run this, some homies gonna run that, some homies gonna run that. See what I'm saying?
All right, so look, I'm gonna ask y'all some real shit. Have y'all ever had a meeting or a sit down with the Hoovers, the LA Hoovers?
Nah, I ain't.
Not as no shit talking about what we about to do, no, never.
It's not a big collective thing, like
that's it.
Our whole collective, our hood do having events, baseball games and all that. Like that's how you can tell it's a big separation and division, yeah. Like, but like it's individual. We got individual homies like on the set. Them the
our politics is our politics. They don't. We're not nothing to do with them. You know what I'm saying? In no type of fashion or way. You know, it gets misconstrued.
But we ain't tolerant no disrespect either. We gonna take everything that come with it.
Yeah, see, we don't dodge no smoke though. That's
I'm
the
not
thing.
dodging
like,
no smoke.
We go to LA County. Like,
I've
been in LA County. Like I'm from Edgemont Criminals. Like, as soon as that crime we get treated.
Yeah, they automatically
nigga
own
ain't doing no explanation. I'm not explaining myself or nothing. I'm going up. So you.
See, so this is one of the most clarifying parts also to this whole interview right there. This is one of the most clarifying parts because this is where people can get confused, but it's really not no confusion. It's simple. I'm not doing those, you know what I'm saying? He's on some gangster shit, nigga. I'm not breaking it down, explaining, oh, nigga, we in Moreno Valley. Nigga, it's Edgemont Criminal, nigga. If you got a problem, nigga, with criminal, nigga, well, then let's do it then, nigga. It's that simple. You feel me? And you got to respect that. You know what I'm saying? So, whereas, even though they are clarifying they're a separate and distinct entity, nigga is still criminal. And if a nigga tripping on this criminal, then it is what it is. Fuck them. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, this is a good clarifying. They're going to go a little deeper on this, too.
You adapted the mentality with that, like cram on the set. It's nothing, but the set already EBK anyway, so it's nothing. That's the place they missing. Like, Edgemont Criminals, we EBK anyway.
We got love for to the Hoovers.
So basically, y'all got your own car though.
We our own shit. Bro.
Okay.
We just our own shit. Period. We ain't got nothing to do with them. They don't got nothing to do with us. Period, man. As of today, as of right now, period. We not in.
But on West, they the first criminals.
Yeah.
They the first criminals though.
We was criminal at the same time.
We criminal too though, but
they was criminal out there. We criminal out here.
Sure, yeah, they for sure doing their thing. I can never
in his blood, those creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme. What did you say? It's such a beautiful saying, creme de la creme, man. I'm telling y'all. You know, because that mean the cream, it rise to the top, man. The best of the motherfucking best, nigga.
It's the separation. It's the difference. You feel me? It's big Edgemont and everything. Hoovers. See Edgemont though.
It could be different though, but you know.
All right, so I want to ask you a question. So if you in the tanks, and they ops come in and they run them and they run them or something, are y'all gonna let them run them since they a criminal?
I've been in there squabbling with Hoovers back to back, like on the set against neighborhood, against all type, like on the set. That it have those situations. You can't help it. You force it to those situations. It's no different for a Crip going into a Damute. It's 3 Crips. They all from different sets, but the Damu's in there like
exactly in that situation.
all the Crips gonna squabble.
I can tell you.
So exactly. So like you said, nigga, he up in there, boom. Niggas not just finna run the Hoovers though. They gonna get up in there in the mix, and they gonna on some criminality. You know what I'm saying? On some crim gang shit. Just like you said, if a Crip go in there, boom. A Crip not just finna let, a Crip not supposed to just let a Crip get ran by the Bloods. You see what I'm saying? So boom, this you know, they bringing the right clarity, and I hope everybody understands they stance in what they saying in this video, because I think they summed it up real good.
You a prime example. I think it was my first time hitting the pen. I'm gonna tell you 2 different situations. I hit the reception, boom. I get my clothes. Nigga, I don't even break my bed down. It's hot, so I take my red thing and pull it down halfway down some, so you see my tattoos. So go on the bed right here to see my tattoos. Long time ago, nigga. You from Hoover? I said, no, I'm from Edgemont Criminals. He like, well, bro, you got criminal on you. Like, I dropped my shit, and I'm like, no, this is my first time in there. And like, from Edgemont Criminals, I ain't from no more Hoover, I ain't from none of that shit. He from 6-0. So I'm like, he like, okay, he OG. Yeah. I thought he was tripping. I had to say, look, man, look, calm down. It ain't like that.
Regular,
let me know, like, this is what they gonna think. You know what I'm saying? I said, oh, okay, well, it ain't that though. And I had that kind of situation that was straight. You know what I'm saying? Because people get it misconstrued because of the criminal. That's what it's gonna be.
Oh, you go run phase, you go get packed. I just got ran 3 phase. I ain't giving up no gang. I'm not giving them no props, none of that. It's regular. You gang bang. It's gonna come with it. I don't care if they was in the tank. If they want fade for me, I'm not for to tell them, oh no, I'm not for the fight. As soon as you call a fade, you just initiate me. I don't care, shit. That shit regular. Christy is regular. The joint, baby should taught me that though. Yeah, Christy. You taught me to cry.
Finish saying what you were saying.
But the OG though, all bullshit aside, he wasn't tripping nothing like that. He laced me and told me, that was my first time. He let me know where my people was at. The IEs is over here, the Riverside is over here. Just know that when you say that, it was back in early 2000. So you up in there gangbanging hard and reception.
I'm gonna draw my daughter.
You know what I'm saying? All type of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, boom. So he laced me, I was like, all right, I thank you, OG. Boom. So, long story short, I go to, I want to say Chino. Bam. Hit Chino yard. I hit Chino yard. I get there, get my shit on. I got to go to orientation. Get out of orientation. I hit the yard. A couple Hoovers walk up. They like, where you from? I said, I'm from Edgemont. I said, I know that. Edgemont where? I said, from Edgemont Criminals. They like, all right, you with us? I'm like, nah, I ain't with y'all. And nigga, can't lie, he got off. Older nigga, we locked real quick, boom. He don't do nothing too much. I don't do nothing too much. They stopped that shit, right? Boom. But I'm telling you what you got to do on site.
So basically, He go to the pen, he go to Chino, he on the yard, the homies approach him. Nigga say, from Edgemont Criminal, okay, boom, you with us. He like, no, you not. The homie took that, no, I'm not. The homie took that as instantaneous disrespect, fired. You know, they locked, boom, boom. But through him doing that, what you think that equaled? You think that led to a war? No, they led to respect. He stood on his own team and he gonna run with in politics however he wants. He didn't have to subjugate himself to the Hoover court necessarily. He could go i.e. Riverside County, you know, whatever, you know, he wanted to do. But, you know, he did that to stand on, you know, his line of what he was pushing. You know, but hey, some of the Edgemonts, they run with the set. Yes, they do.
I didn't freeze, I didn't fold, I didn't run, I didn't do nothing. I threw one right back. On God in heaven, they respected the homie John before I do stuff with their told, hey, bro. And they talked about it, they handled their own situation with that shit, and we left it like that. It wasn't nothing. But that's just us telling you some real shit. Like, you have to go through different shit that people don't understand. So it's not nothing with nothing, and it gets the understanding of we stand alone. At least they know Stone stood alone on that shit like that. I know, and the homies are standing on it like that too. And the homies that do different shit, they do different shit. You know what I'm saying?
I was in the county, neighborhood dorms, any dorm, Beehive dorms, gangster dorms. I gonna get into it with anybody, Common Watch dorm, anybody. It's gang banging. It's the camp, halls. Do it up. They gonna do it up for this Edgemont shit.
They know who my best friend is. I ain't gonna say his name like that. But
I ain't
that's my
giving
best
no
friend.
problem.
So how can, you know what I'm saying, I not like them or we don't like them or none of that. We just don't, we just not in their narrative. That's all it is. No disrespect. We're just not
like an hour away.
What they got going on. They got their own shit going on. We got our own shit going on.
Yeah, we've been out here for a minute, man. We've been doing our thing. The homie brought you out. What's up, DC? About this yipping, about this criminal shit out here in the murder, though. I'm a G from this section. I've been here from the grit, from the seeds, you know what I'm saying, and grew up, and that's what we do. So, I know y'all see many other hood vlogs, many other shit about the homies talking about, you know what I'm saying, we do music, you know what I'm saying, we do shit for our community, the homies cope, all kind of shit, feel me? Producers, all kind of shit, businessmen, entrepreneurs, you see it. Shout out to the Hoovers, no disrespect, you know what I'm saying, but we not from Hoover. You know what I'm saying? We from Edgemont. We from Moreno Valley, California. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shouts out. Now you know the homies be turned. You know, hey, look, you know the homies be turned. But it's the murders. You know what I'm saying? But we not crimming because of Tiny Zoe. Shout out to the homie tatted on my back though. You know what I'm saying? He a big portion of this YPC shit. I'm one of his first little homies that got put on YPC. I really know him. I cried at his funeral. You know what I'm saying? And I come there. I seen that shit. We stood firsthand with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But shout out, no disrespect, homie. But we do our own thing out here. You know what I'm saying? It's 909-951 out this way.